Hey boxing fans, welcome to another edition of Boxing for Real. I'm your host, Don Omega. Iron Truth with me here as always. And this week we're talking about some fights. We've been away for a little bit, but we're back right now, so let's get to it. Okay, Mike Tyson versus Corey Sanders. They had their exhibition match. Best fight of Tyson I have seen in years.
Yep.
We've got some problems with the fight, with Tyson's performance, but as far as his in-ring performance, he actually was light on his feet. He came in with this different style than he has used before in a professional fight, and he looked really good doing it. This was an exhibition, didn't count. Why did he do this for an exhibition but not a professional match? I guess he wanted to keep that aggressive style that he was so known for. But he needs to adapt, and I would love to see him fight professionally again based on this fight.
Definitely. He showed he still has the skills and the head movement if he would use it, which he hasn't been using it, like you said, and he used it excellently in this fight.
This was more of a slick performance for Tyson
a boxing
in a lot of
performance.
the fight. Absolutely.
And
I couldn't believe it that he looked this good. He kept telling me, because I didn't see the fight live, I was unable to be there that Friday night, and anyhow, he told me that Tyson looked good, and I thought he was just getting overly excited about Tyson again. And I just, he looked good. Yeah. But Tyson did not take out Corey Sanders.
He knocked him down in the first 30 seconds of the fight.
First few seconds of it, and he basically knocked him down again, held him up so he wouldn't go down.
Later on in the first round.
Tyson, you can't do that if you're doing this world tour stuff. If you're not willing to finish your opponent off, people aren't going to buy the pay-per-view.
Right. The reason knock people out.
The reason people buy heavyweight fights, the reason people buy Mike Tyson fights especially, is to see the train wrecks or to see Mike Tyson knock people out.
Yes.
That's what people want to see.
He could have at any point. Don't know why he chose
to carry him.
Yeah, he did carry him, definitely.
All I can figure is that he didn't want to hurt Corey Sanders, who wore headgear, by the way.
Headgear. Tyson did not.
16-ounce gloves.
Yeah, not 12 like previously. I think it was announced that it would be 12-ounce
and
gloves.
12 ounce is actually for the Super Fighter tournament.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
But anyhow, 16-ounce gloves and headgear, and the men still got knocked down. And this was a good fighter. This wasn't just a complete bum.
Knocked out Oleg Maskaev 4 years ago. Current heavyweight champion of the world. One of the current champs.
Better than Kevin McBride.
Yeah, by far. And Tyson just dominated him.
Could have taken him out at any point.
Definitely.
And just really looked great. Maybe if Tyson would just... Now, Tyson did come in as heaviest.
Yep, 241.
We had already mentioned that, I believe.
Kept his shirt on the whole time, so couldn't really see what kind of shape he was in.
He looked kind of fatter to me. He
I
looked
really
like
couldn't
there was some
tell.
bulge from his shirt.
Yeah, I really couldn't tell
and
because
at
of the
241
shirt.
you'd expect it.
Because that was the highest he's ever weighed.
It sure wasn't muscle on his stomach. But anyhow,
it was good enough for that night, obviously.
And he could get into shape again. If he dropped 15 pounds, he'd be in excellent shape.
Great, yeah.
He'd be
if he dropped just 10
this
pounds,
heavyweight mix. In this heavyweight mix, if he fought like he did there, if he came in like that, he could really do something. Tyson, you can change your style, like Rocky said in Rocky IV. Everybody can change. We can live in the world today. But anyhow, Tyson.
Next fight scheduled for December 31st. That's going to be, I think, in China. They're talking about. Don't know who that's going to be against.
They were claiming it was going to be one more U.S. fight originally, but now we don't know.
Don't know, but we'll just have to see. He needs a few more of these fights. I'd like to see him take a few more exhibitions, knock the guys out cold, of course.
I'd say 3 more exhibitions maximum, and get back.
And then get professionally back. Hopefully he can get his desire back.
Actually, really, I would say cancel the rest of this tournament, these fights, make them professional fights against the same caliber opponent.
And when he wins, they can count on his record for one thing, which that would be better. Because no decision was even announced or anything.
No decision, but it was clear Tyson won.
Well, he won every round. He did not get hit one time, not once. and I'm not exaggerating.
He completely dominated
Yeah.
Corey Sanders, and Sanders didn't know what to do. T-Rex Sanders did not know what to do with him.
So,
Also, this weekend we had Ponce de Leon get a checkmate over his opponent. Want to talk about that?
yeah, he came in. This guy is very, very wild. Pretty close to Ricardo Mayorga in skill level, actually. He's actually gotten worse and worse in his skill level since I've seen him from about 2 years ago. In every fight, he's gotten worse and worse with his skills. Usually people do get better as the time goes on. He's taken the other way. But still a good performance. He did dominate the fight. The guy had nothing for him. Alf Seeger was the opponent's name, a nobody. Knocked him out in the 8th round, knocked him down twice, I believe. And he dominated, but he's way too wild, and a lot of the 122-pound guys and people in that division are really going to have a field day with him from their
skill level.
Definitely.
Unless he gets back to his, maybe he fights to people's
He's
level
wanting to
possible.
Well, he's wanting to please the crowd. He says a lot of times,
especially after that last fight where he just knocked the guy out cold really early
in the very first round.
He's pulling a Valero.
Yep. And
basically,
we'll have to see what he does. But right now, he's got some things to work on, definitely. But an exciting
How about
fighter.
Lascano?
Yeah, very disappointing performance for Lascano. I had it a draw, actually, 5 rounds to 5. I expected much more from Lascano. He fought Manuel Garnica, a guy who beat Carlos Mausa earlier this year. So he was a decent fighter, I guess, very awkward fighter. But Lascano didn't impress at all.
Yeah,
I had it a draw.
This was one of Lascano's worst performances ever. Actually, I'd probably go as far to say his worst performance.
Yeah, I would probably agree with that, definitely.
Yeah, because he showed nothing the entire fight, really.
He never could get going at all, and it wasn't just not impressive at all.
No.
So, unfortunately.
And also, off TV,
Unfortunately, they had 2 other fights that were not worth showing at all, and they did not show on
actually, it looked
Berto.
like you could have shown this instead of the Lascano fight. But
I would have rather seen him. I would have rather seen Berto than Lascano. But anyway, Berto got a 6th round knockout, I believe it was, on the undercard.
It was a knockout,
Yeah, it
regardless.
was undercard, and it was off TV, unfortunately. So he's going to be fighting again December 9th on the Taylor Uma undercard, which will be shown, thankfully.
Thankfully,
Finally.
although it'll be competing against Roy Jones Jr. We'll get to that. And also, Ivan Calderon fought off TV on the undercard of the Irene Pacheco controversy. Calderon won just another decision.
Dominated. Yeah.
Dominating decision, nothing unusual there. It should have been shown, but that could have been a little card in and of itself, and like tell a future or something at least.
Yeah.
Irene Pacheco, of course, won his fight controversially, where 2 judges gave it to him, and they were brothers. And they're now under investigation and probably going to be banned or fined, or probably nothing will happen, truthfully. But they're claiming something will happen to them.
We'll have to see.
Also, we had Julio fighting Cosme Rivera.
Cosme Rivera, you'll remember, is
Zab Judah knocked him out in 3 rounds.
Only person to ever knock him out or to knock him down at all. So, and go ahead and tell him what happened with Julio.
Julio did not look too great in this fight. It was a comeback fight for him after the
a good opponent to come back with after your first loss.
And he got knocked down
in the 12th round. Yeah.
And he simply was not impressive.
No, not impressive. I did give the fight to Julio. He won a lot of the early rounds, but Rivera came on strong in the later rounds. I had it 7-5, so that made it 114 to 113 with the knockdown. So 1 point. And this proves again how good Judah is. This guy got destroyed by Judah.
And this further makes you question Julio.
Well, I guess it would have to. But Julio didn't really show the impressive stuff that he showed before the Quintana fight. He wasn't mixing his punches well to the body and head or really even throwing combos at all, really throughout the fight. But I did give him the fight barely, so we'll have to see what happens
His future
next
is
with him.
looking.
He still is 21, so he's got plenty of time to develop more.
Yeah,
so.
he's got time for sure. He's looking a little bleak. He's looking kind of in the area Cintron was recently.
Yeah.
Speaking of Kermit Cintron, he also fought
Mark
this
Flores.
past weekend at the time of this recording.
October
And
28th.
As we basically predicted, he did take care of Suarez easily. I think a 6-round knockout.
Yeah, 5th round.
Box record reported 6, but whatever.
Okay, well, I'm pretty sure it was 5, but anyway.
Either way,
he
who
dominated
knows? They
it.
should have shown it so we'd know for sure.
Didn't once again. So
And
good win for him. He is the IBF champ now, the title that Mayweather vacated after beating Judah. But good win for him. He can claim he's a title holder, although
he's a
that
title
means nothing.
holder, can get in there with someone good so he can lose again.
He'll get knocked out much worse than he did against Margarito, which that was pretty bad. So, but anyway, on the undercard we had Aaron Pryor Jr. fighting, and he got a knockout, I believe, in the 6th round also. So.
Oh yeah, Stefan Pryor, by the way, fought on the
Tyson card.
and he lost.
Yeah,
And lost.
He's
So
absolutely
quit showing,
nobody.
and he was shown.
Yeah,
Quit showing him. He's done.
Aaron Pryor Jr.
He's lost twice on TV.
Yeah.
Both times he's been on TV, I believe. He
yeah,
lost.
because he lost to James
Quit showing
McGurk
him.
Jr. also.
Show the good one.
Yeah, Aaron Pryor
The
Jr.
one so far is so good.
is undefeated. Yeah, so show him from now on. Get Stephen Pryor off TV.
Also, just mentioning this, as I'll mention fighters that are from around the globe. 3K Battery, the good one, Yadsanan, or however you say it, 3K Battery. He won 4th round knockout
Didn't show it, of course.
against some guy that was supposed to be decent. Hard to really tell because we don't know who these guys have fought since they never show them. We don't know. But anyhow, it was his 49th victory. He's almost 50-0, or not 50-0, but almost to his 50th victory. And yeah, it's about time they start showing this guy. He had buzz around him. It looked like maybe Pacquiao might fight him. That kind of fell off, of course, but it'd be nice to
See,
him fight someone.
there's
And
no reason not to show every fight that of
boxing's
these
an
that were
international
mentioning.
sport. Let's keep it that way.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be this show for right now. Thank you for tuning in. As always, boxingforreal@gmail.com. Email us in with questions or anything. See you later.